तलवार की नोक पर या एटम बॉम्ब के डर से कोई हमारे दबाना चाहे, ये देश हमारा दबने वाला नहीं है।
Ever since the Russia-Ukraine war and China-Taiwan conflict have escalated, the world has been constantly talking about one very, very important factor, and that is the possibility of a nuclear war. Я защитник России и нашего народа. Мы используем все имеющиеся в нашем распоряжении средства. And today, while every single country in this world is trying to make a mark in the world economy, one of the most powerful instruments of war is a country's ability to use a nuclear bomb. And did you know, before we became the second fastest growing economy, before we became a $2 trillion economy, there was a time when US, UK, China and Pakistan together tried to bully India and tried to suppress our power. And this threat was so high that the US even considered dropping a nuclear bomb. Yes, you heard that right.
Indian intelligence reports indicated that the President Nixon had dispatched the 7th Fleet, led by 75,000-ton nuclear-powered aircraft carrier USS Enterprise, the world's largest warship of the Indian Ocean.
You know what, guys? Even then, because of the extraordinary contributions and initiatives of leaders like Indira Gandhi, Lal Bahadur Shastri, Dorabji Tata, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, and the legendary Abdul Kalam, today, India stands as a powerful nuclear state. And this journey took us 51 years and 2 generations of leaders and scientists to reach the destination. And today, their dedication is the reason why India stands at a respectable position in the world economy. But as usual, this is one of the most important chapters of Indian history that is not taught in schools and colleges. And maybe because the world of geopolitics is darker than our imagination. So in this episode today, let's do a deep dive and try to understand what were the most dangerous threats to India from Pakistan, China and the United States. How did the leaders of India go against these superpowers of the world to establish India as a nuclear state? And what are the study materials to help you understand this critical and important chapter of Indian history? This is a story that dates way back to 1940s India, when World War II had just ended. India had just got her independence, and for the first time in the history of mankind, the leaders of the world had seen the power of a nuclear bomb at Hiroshima.
August 9th, 1945, the United States Army Air Force B-29 dropped a 10,000-pound plutonium bomb nicknamed Fat Man over the city of Nagasaki, Japan. 3 days after Hiroshima,
a city died and 80,000 of its inhabitants were wiped out.
Japan surrendered less than a week later.
Ik moet stoppen, hoor. Ik ga problemen krijgen.
And when people saw what these bombs did to Japan, everybody realized that if they want to command a power in the 21st century, they have to have a nuclear bomb. And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, the nuclear race began with the most powerful countries including the US, UK and Russia.
Ik heb nog geen problemen, hoor.
Een lijkpiloot worden op jouw leeftijd.
Oh, gelukkig.
Max. Ja.
Nog niet. Ik stop hem maar.
Hoe was het op school?
UK and Russia testing their nuclear weapons to prepare for this nuclear race.
On July 16, 1945, the clock ticked down to the first man-made nuclear blast in history.
Finally, after 3 years' work, the atomic experts were ready to test their first bomb. In the control shack was Dr. J.R. Oppenheimer.
President Truman's dramatic announcement that Russia has created an atomic explosion.
In connection with the president's statement that there has been an atomic explosion in the Soviet Union.
While US did their tests in 1945, Russia did it in 1949, UK did it in 1952, France did it in 1960, and lastly, China conducted their tests in 1964. And while these countries were conducting their nuclear tests, nobody in the world said anything. But as soon as this inner circle of world power finished their nuclear tests, they came up with something called the Non-Proliferation Treaty in 1968. This treaty stated that non-nuclear states must commit themselves to not manufacture or acquire nuclear weapons, while nuclear weapon states commit not to in any way assist, encourage or help any non-nuclear state to acquire nuclear weapons. Basically, this treaty said, now that all the big boys have nuclear bombs, let's make sure that nobody else has it. In fact, India actually proposed a failed treaty saying that we all will disarm and promise not to develop weapons as long as the nuclear states promise to completely disarm their nuclear weapons. In short, India said, we will drop our weapons provided you do that too. But the harsh reality of geopolitics is that nobody gives a fish about justice or equality. So it got rejected. But you know what, guys? As soon as the West proposed this unequal deal of non-proliferation, everybody jumped on board and 191 countries signed this treaty. Except India, Pakistan and Israel. And later even North Korea withdrew from it. Now the question over here is, when so many countries signed this deal, why did India not sign it? Well, that is because, ladies and gentlemen, something crazy was happening at the borders of India.
On the 20th of October 1962, the Chinese army launched a massive attack on India.
इस युद्ध से मिली सीख ने भारत को सामरिक तौर पर मजबूत कर दिया था.
On October the 20th, 1962, the first Chinese shells came screaming down, and the war had begun.
On 20th of October 1962, the Chinese invaded Ladakh and Arunachal Pradesh, and India lost about 43,000 square kilometers of land, which was captured by China in Aksai Chin. And from then till today, there have been border tensions between India and China. And then immediately, in just 3 years, we got attacked again by Pakistan, and this led to the 1965 India-Pakistan war.
Armies of India and Pakistan were involved in a full battle over the control of the old Katharkot fort.
On top of that, Pakistan started to get cozy with China because we were their common enemy. And during the same time, India was a very, very weak country because our economy was in turmoil. We were facing both severe food shortages and famine problems all across the country. So in short, Pakistan and China was just one attack away from destroying our country. And this vulnerability is the reason why we did not sign the non-proliferation treaty and started speeding up our process of becoming a nuclear state. And this is where, ladies and gentlemen, the Cold War between India and Pakistan began. Pakistan began. Here's where we saw three legends come together to achieve this incredible security deterrence for India, who were Lal Bahadur Shastri, Homi Bhabha and Dorabji Tata. While Dorabji Tata actively financed research initiatives, Homi Bhabha was able to use this capital to establish world-class institutes like Tata Institute of Fundamental Research and Tromboy Atomic Energy Establishment in 1954. And cherry on the cake, in 1965, that is just 1 year after China became a nuclear state, Shastriji actively gave the go-ahead for the production of nuclear explosives in India.
अगर सरकार की नोक पर या एटम बम के डर से कोई हमारे देश को झुकाना चाहे, दबाना चाहे, ये देश हमारा दबने वाला नहीं. तो एक सरकार के नाते हमारा क्या जवाब हो सकता है सिवाय कि हम हथियारों का जवाब हथियारों से देंगे.
And this is what led to the launch of Nuclear Explosive Design Group and something called the Study of Nuclear Explosions for Peaceful Purposes, or SNEPP. And you know what, guys? We were so close to developing this nuclear weapon that in a 1965 interview to All India Radio, Homi Bhabha had said that if we had the green signal, India could make a nuclear bomb in just 18 freaking months. And this sent such shockwaves across Pakistan that the then president of Pakistan, if India builds the bomb, we will eat grass or least even go hungry, but we will get one of our own. So you can imagine the intensity of the Cold War between India and Pakistan, right? But shockingly, in just 3 months, in January 1966, Homi Bhabha died in a plane crash. And what's even more shocking is that in the same freaking month, even Shastriji died due to suspicious reasons. As a result, the nuclear program of India took a hit. And just 5 years later, another India-Pakistan war broke out in 1971 when Pakistan launched something called Operation Searchlight on East Pakistan, which is modern-day Bangladesh.
There have been many reports of massacres in East Pakistan.
March 1951, the year of the killing begins. By ship and secret airlift, troops are brought to Dhaka. General Tika Khan, popularly known as the Butcher, is sworn in as military governor. On the night of March 25th, the army moves to crush Bengal.
This was one of the bloodiest events in the history of Asia, whereby the Pakistani army killed 3 million Bengalis. These horrific incidents went on not for 1 or 2 months, but 9 long months and resulted into 10 million refugees who crossed the border to India. And the most pathetic thing about this operation was that Pakistan did this just to bully Bangladesh to keep it under its control. But, in this process, the Pakistani army made one big mistake. In December 1971, Pakistani Air Force attacked the airfields in India, and when they did it, it gave India the legal justification to formally enter the war. And although India's motives weren't entirely humanitarian or selfless, the Indian army surrounded the Pakistani army, and they put Pakistan in such a position that Pakistan had to surrender to India within just 2 weeks. And in between this war, you know what happened? The United States of America deployed their 75,000-ton 7th Fleet